The Bears.
Because of the way they play the nickel corner here, and the nickel corner plays 88-85% of the snaps. He's got to be like part linebacker.
The Bears.
When you're in a scouting room, there's going to be differences of opinion.
The Bears.
Well, you're looking at traits. And remember when he tested very, very well.
The Bears.
Greg, why are teams wrong on quarterback evaluation so up?
Number one, it's a hard position to evaluate.
Former Bears scouting director Greg Gabriel talks football live every week on the Barroom Network. Also available on demand.
Look, I think it's a good time to be a Chicago Bears fan. There's a lot to be excited about. But let me tell you something. We are past the point of excuses. If things go sour, you have used up all of the patience that Chicago has to offer.
The following program is rated TV MALV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Here we go, Barflies. Welcome to the Barfly Tailgate Show. You already know it's done by Barflies for Barflies and all the other Bears fans out there. We have some technical difficulties with Chris this morning. KB is fashionably late. I did send him a message telling him to hop in when he can. But my man Tooch comes in off the bench, so your boy AC does not have to do a one-man show this week. What's going on, brother? It feels like we haven't been on in a month and a half with everything that's happened with the long week and everything. How was your short, somewhat bye week? How did it go?
Yeah, it was good. Look, we got what we wanted. The coach fired in the middle of a season, and with good reasons, lots of good reasons. AC.
Yep.
He's finally gone. We get a chance to see what Thomas Brown can do as a head coach, and that's kind of exciting. We get to see what Eric Washington can do as defensive coordinator in place of Eberflus. And I know the Bears, Eberflus hasn't been blitz happy. They've gotten good pressure without the blitz, which is, predicate of his defense. So maybe Eric Washington gives us a little blitz, maybe a few more blitz looks against the 49ers today. We got an afternoon tilt in the city by the bay. 3:25 start time Central, I think.
Yes, sir. Yep, that's the yeah, it's crazy. We all wanted, me and you two, we wanted him gone last year before you draft your quarterback.
Yeah. I wanted him gone after year one. I could tell he wasn't a good coach, but
I guess better late than never. And Bears lose to the Lions by a field goal. Blew it in the end again, and that was really the last straw. Well, it seemed like the last straw for us, but All the rumors about the way the locker room was after the game was really seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back.
glad you brought this up.
I don't know who made the final call. It's rumors that it was Warren. It's rumors that Ryan Poles wanted to fire him after the Patriots
last
game, and the McCaskey said no. It's just for someone who says he doesn't meddle a lot as an owner, awful lot of rumors come out that says that he does. I know Greg Gabriel comes on here and defends him a lot because he was in the organization and saw what he was like behind the scenes, but when there's smoke, there's fire. You know what I'm saying? And George is
too much
a lot
smoke.
like us, but a lot more money than us. You know what I mean? And it's almost when you inherit a business that just makes money, you kind of want to hold on to it, I guess. But I'm glad something was done, though. Eberflus had lost the locker room.
Can you imagine being a fly on the wall after that game?
Well, they said that Jalen Johnson kind of let him have it. And Jalen Johnson, he does a weekly hit on 670 the score, and he kind of came out and was like, he just basically broke it down. Look, I've been a winner since Pop Warner. Even when I went to Utah, we didn't win a title, but we were top 5 at one point while I was there.
Good football program.
I've always he's always been a winner, and then since he's been drafted by the Bears, he's done nothing but lose, and it's been a lot of coaching putting him in the wrong in a bad situation. Now some of it's him, if you don't fall when you're defending Christian Watson in that Packers game, who knows how that turns out, but so much of this was coaching, and we've talked about it all year. I go back to the Colts game when they ran the option play at the 1 yard line. I was like, what are we doing here? And then you get the Hail Mary. We talked about it on the last show. Then you get the Hail Mary in Washington. The week after that was the Packers game where you get a field goal blocked. The week after that is the Minnesota game where you get another field goal blocked and end up losing by a field goal in overtime. We had a lot of things break our way in that game, but
Hightower didn't get a look as head coach because of kind of these special teams breakdowns.
I have a feeling that had something to do with it because I was on board with Hightower originally.
We both were.
And then when those things started happening, I was like, okay, maybe he might be a good head coach. And I feel like special team coordinators don't get as many looks as they should. When you look around, John Harbaugh was special teams coordinator before he became head coach. Yeah, Ditka was. I think Dave Tobe would be a good head coach if he'd ever be given a chance. But yeah, they go with Thomas Brown. You talk about a whirlwind of adventure for him. He goes from passing game coordinator to OC to head coach in a span of a month. He's learning on the job, really. And I'll be honest, and you've seen our chat online, the barroom chat. A lot of people calling for Gruden or Vrabel or Belichick or someone who has experience. But I'm going to give this guy a shot. I really am. I'm really excited to see
he's got a 5-game audition.
He's got a 5-game audition. The offense hasn't been world-beating since he took over, but they have. You've seen the effort that you didn't see under Eberflus, and I think that was really what showed how much he had lost the locker room. So Caleb Williams' first 9 games for those who are listening with OC Shane Waldron. He had a 198.3 passer rating, 9 touchdowns, 5 picks, 81. It was 198 passing yards per game. My bad.
Yep. Under 200.
Yeah, 81 passer rating and 13.4. What's F? Is it points per game? Fantasy points per game.
Okay. Fantasy points per game. Yep.
Okay. And then since Thomas Brown took over, his numbers are up to 275.7, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 99.2 passer rating, and the 23.1 fantasy points per game. And this is against our division rivals, who we all had talked about how great this division was. Look, right here, man, you're on it. Against
I always got good stats, bro.
Yeah.
Look at how good he's done against the NFC North, man.
I'm telling you, if he hadn't started out so slow, the offensive rookie of the year, and it really still should be, the offensive rookie of the year should still be a lot closer than a lot of people think it is. I
Yeah.
bet it this week. I put $1 on it. It's 60-1. So
Yeah.
if it hits, I make $60.
Nice.
If it don't, then I'm
Well-
out $1. You know.
Yeah. Let me see. Here's another one from last week. This is PFF quarterback grades versus Green Bay. Look at Caleb Williams is at the top there, and there's some good quarterbacks on that list.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and now here's Caleb versus the Lions. He's the
Multiple
only
touchdown
guy,
passes against the
only
Lions.
guy
That's
this
it.
season
Yep.
with multiple touchdowns versus the Lions. Take that, Don Burr.
Yeah, I was worried honestly going into that game because the Lions, I knew they were banged up, but they always seem to find a way, you know.
Yep.
And I was really worried about their
Except
safety tandem back
in
there,
the
but-
playoffs.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I'm
they went to
trolling
Kendall
him now.
Vildor. They went to Kendall Vildor just like they did last year
Yep.
in the playoffs, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just I like him as a person. I think he'd be a good depth piece, but he's not a starting corner in this league.
Yeah,
my
they were
opinion.
banged up.
Yeah.
The Lions. I mean, look, with I think the thing we got to take from all of these NFC North games, the little tilt we had here with Caleb, is that we're whether it's versus our division or other teams, we always have a chance to win the game at the end with Caleb Williams. Because man, in the fourth quarter, he really comes alive, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things. Look, I'm not going to say he's great. You know, he's a rookie, and there's a lot of things he's got to clean up. His deep and intermediate pass accuracy is down. Yeah, that's right, Fochis.
Yeah.
Everybody's banged up now. We'll get to that with the 49ers and Bears.
Yeah.
With Caleb, I mean, he's great. The short passing game, you know, but in the NFL, we need a little bit more than that, and I get it, you know. But that's
I feel like he's getting more comfortable with the deep ball game too. The big miss last week was probably would have put the game away if he hits DJ Moore on that crosser route because he had blockers, and you know DJ Moore he never goes down at the first contact.
Yep.
But he
that was a miss. But...
Yeah. Yeah, he missed on that one, and
that was a miss.
We lose the game. But the good thing is he is more mature than I expected out of him. Like when he goes to the podium and he talks about, I missed this and I missed that. I usually don't miss this. And he doesn't like my biggest worry when he was coming in was remember at USC when he lost to I think Notre Dame, in Utah, some of those big games, he either did not even meet with the media or kind of showed up and was like, I just want to go home and pet my dog and watch Netflix or something. You know what I mean?
Call of Duty.
Yeah. And
the players, they love that Call of Duty, don't they?
I do too, man.
I think there's another guy here that loves Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. You want to bring him on in,
Bring him in. I love him. Yeah, bring him in.
So our boy KB looks like he's just waking up this morning. I don't know if he had a long shift last night or
did he miss us over those 10 days?
Man, it's been rough. I'm at work.
He didn't miss us.
I'm at work, man. I miss y'all boys, man. You know what I'm saying? Hope the holidays were great. You know what I'm saying? But your boys at work, man, had to knock some things out first.
Yep.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Wait,
KB, were you at work? Did you have to go put out a deep fried turkey, fire or anything?
Oh man, I don't know that one. Nice.
It's pretty good.
Rockstar.
Hey man, surprisingly, no. Nobody set anything on fire. Deep fried turkeys, which is a good thing. Yeah, I don't know if you guys seen any of those videos about how fun those get. Yeah. Fully engulfed firefighter. We've seen a video, but he was completely up in flames. Wow.
I had something to comment on Google reviews. If your firehouse set the house on fire with a deep fried turkey,
that we made that joke a few times. That'd be one to say, oh yeah, he set the firehouse on fire. Well, I mean, we was already there, so you wouldn't have got that.
The turkey was worth it though, man.
Goddamn right. That's why we smoke everything now. We don't deep fry. We smoke.
Yep.
So much better.
Yeah.
Holiday was good, man. Spent time with the family. Had a drunk auntie moment. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Hope you boys' holidays were amazing. How How was it? How we do? How we
It was
do?
good.
Yep.
We didn't deep fry the turkey, but my wife, like when I was growing up, the turkey was always dry, except for one year when my uncle deep fried it. It was juicy and delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't realize how good turkey is if you cook it right. Mallory,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, she gets up under the skin with the butter, and I'm telling you, it's so much
Yep.
butter goes on this thing, but she makes it delicious. And of course, she
inject
made
that.
stuffing or dressing wherever you're from, however you say it. Mac and cheese. She's got this crock pot mac and cheese that's to die for. And yeah, family came over. We had a couple of drinks, watched the Bears lose, and I immediately said, "Fuck him, fire Flus." And then we ate, and that's just kind of. That's how it went.
You got to get the probes in the turkey.
Yeah.
And once it gets to 165, boom, pull it out, cover it with foil, let it sit for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then it's juicy as hell.
That wasn't making me hungry again, bro. Man, I forgot the game happened on Thanksgiving, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it seems like forever ago. What do you think about the firing, though?
It was warranted. Well overdue. I mean, to be honest, those are the two words that need to be said. You just kind of felt like after that game, that was it.
Yeah.
Like there was, without reading any tea leaves or hearing anybody say anything, you just knew once they lost. I remember I called a friend. I was like, man, these motherfuckers finna fire his ass.
And it still took him a while to make that fucking decision, though. It's like they let him go out and do his press conference.
I was listening to ESPN 1000 Friday morning, and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna have Flus." Me and Scotty was going out and grabbing some gifts, and
we were all like,
and I was like, "Is he like?" Every question was about his job, obviously, that was kind of shitty.
He's like, I expect to be the coach on the sidelines versus the Niners.
Him go out there and do his press conference.
Yeah, I feel like this.
What else is he supposed to say, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know that they said that it was why would they let him go out there? I would have let him.
They were deactivating his security badge, KB.
Yeah, I would
locking him out of the building.
Thank you. They was switching locks and changing codes, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have radioed down there if I was posing and be like, man, eat him up.
Yep, delete
that
him
would have
from
been
the
my
network.
Final word: eat him alive, and then I'd have just hung up.
Good riddance.
Well, the McCaskies are pretty cheap, so they probably don't have a key code. It's probably like old school. They had to actually get a locksmith in there to change the whole lock, and all those things. This has worked since 1920.
Yeah. The thing is that I read somewhere that they'll pay Eberflus $20,000 a day not to coach the Bears. It's like that's stinging the McCaskies. I mean, they wouldn't even pay for a first class ticket for the coaches that come in to interview.
That's wild to think of.
Man, tell me about it.
That's so fucked up.
You wonder why Dan Quinn turned us down. Like, set him in the back of the plane.
At that point, right? You're not going to put me in coach.
I wouldn't even get on the plane. I'd be like, you know what? I changed my mind.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm not coming. If you don't roll out the red carpet for me,
Jerry.
Yeah, right. Well,
hopefully they learn from that. Yeah, hopefully they learn from that, because you got Ben Johnson this offseason. If you don't roll something out for him, he ain't coming.
AC, do you think? AC, do you think the McCaskey, the Bears ownership is aware of the national embarrassment they suffered this past week with all these stories coming out with the Dan Quinn story with McCaskey not letting Poles fire Eberflus? Are they aware of this, of the bad publicity? I mean, are they going to change at all? What do you guys think?
I sure hope so, because like Monday when I went to work, everybody knows I'm the Bears fan at work. So they were all like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry the way that looked. And I was like, dude, you're sorry? I've been watching this for a couple months, if not the last 2 seasons. I've seen him blow a bunch of these games. So you guys just now finally see it because it's nationally televised and everybody was watching on Thanksgiving. But I don't know, man. None of them are on social media, which is probably a good thing. None of them,
No.
you have to write a letter to George to get in touch with them. They're so stuck in the past, and that's what kills us as a franchise.
Yeah.
They think that
great
they
point.
can just get by like they could. We're still leaning on 1985. I wasn't even born then, fellas.
We're still crutching on 1985.
Yeah, I remember the Hester team and Urlacher, and I thought Jay Cutler was the answer, and he wasn't. But they can't live in the past like that anymore. And I know Ryan Poles talked about not wanting to be in the past, but you have to look in the past to learn from it. And that's another thing about the press conference after this is Ryan Poles looked dejected, like they just cut his balls off, man. He looked like,
oh, man, I don't know. AC,
Go
man,
ahead,
I know you've seen it before. That black friend that got in trouble, and he got to sit next to the parent at the parent-teacher conference. Hey, I'm sitting there looking. I said, bro, I know that look. Ooh, that motherfucker's in trouble. That's what that is. He is in trouble. That man looked like he just came off an ass whooping and sat down. I'm not gonna speak unless I'm spoken to. I'm gonna make these real short and direct. I'm not gonna give y'all a whole lot of speech talk today. Point A, B, and C are being hit.
That was the weirdest press conference because Kevin Warren was like, I'm not the guy, we'll be doing all this stuff, but I'm not the guy. Poles will still be making decisions. Poles was wearing the sweatpants, it was like he didn't even know there was a press conference. Kevin Warren's in his suit, everything. It was like, it was so disorganized, like, well, Ryan Poles will be making the final head coaching decision. Poles is sitting there on his phone. He looked like he'd been scolded in the back office.
I thought that man he called that belt the ass before that press conference. That's what it was.
Exactly.
I was gonna say people saying, "Hey man, the Bears are doing it again. They're gonna mess this." Listen, Kevin Warren probably told Poles ass, "Look, motherfucker, you on thin ice."
Yeah.
And if it come down to it, it's me and you. It's gonna be you.
Yeah.
So we gonna figure this shit out. AKA, I'm gonna figure this shit out, and you gonna go along with it. That's what that conversation was.
Well, and part of it, I think, is the way Poles, because Poles really believed in Matt Eberflus. If you guys remember, a lot of people say, oh, he was forced on him. When he came in, they said, these are your candidates, pick one. And he went from there. But last year, he doubled down on Eberflus and believed in him and believed in the hits principle and thought he could lead them to where they needed to go, which we all didn't believe, but he did. And that's what really mattered. And it just, when it comes back and looks this bad, Kevin Warren was like, this is on you, brother. This is on you just as much as it's on Flus. I'm sure that's what they told him. And but my concern, though, is I believe Kevin Warren was in Minnesota when they hired Mike Zimmer, and he was mediocre at best, too, as a defensive-minded head coach. If he is in charge, I just hope do their due diligence, because the other report that came out was that Harbaugh wanted to talk to the Bears, and Kevin Warren straight shut it down because he didn't like him. Like, are you a serious franchise or are you not? Because it's obvious to me that you're not willing to put personal things aside to pick the best man for the job. You guys know how much I wanted Harbaugh. And at this point, the rumors I've been hearing all week, if there's any shot in hell that Kyle Shanahan is available via trade, at this point I'm saying fuck it, via trade, or he gets fired and you call him, do what you need to do to get that man into Hallis Hall. I don't look, I get it. They got a lot of injuries with the 49ers, but that is an aging roster at this point with an injury concern. And, oh, yeah, here comes Brock Purdy having to get paid, whereas he can come in here and put the ship in the right place and have a young quarterback on a rookie contract and have pieces around him. Keenan Allen already says he wants to be back. I don't know whether they'll bring him back or not. Depends on the deal, honestly. But at this point, I know we're going to talk a lot about head coaches this offseason.
I was hoping we talk a little bit about it now.
That's my guy.
There's lots of talk of the old guys.
We can.
Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
John Gruden, all these guys are bubbling to the surface. Do you guys want one of those retreads, or would you prefer like a hot young? I'm not always one to surrender draft picks for coaches, but
I talked about that in our group chat. I know Badge was in there pounding the table for Gruden, but the more I look at Gruden's resume, the more questionable it becomes to me. This
he's
is a
not the
guy
type
who,
of guy that McCaskey's would okay a hire on. Just to be
well,
honest, I don't mind it.
Even if they had, if you look at his resume, he inherited a team in Tampa Bay that was already put together and ready to go. All he had to do was get them over the top. Then he goes back to Oakland as the head coach and takes some control of roster, which he's going to want here too. He's going to want that if he gets hired again, and continues to run them into the ground with picks, like top picks. Leatherwood, who couldn't even make our team with our offensive line. Henry Ruggs, who might have been good, but he was fast on and off the field. We'll just say that.
A little too fast off the field too.
And Josh Jacobs worked out. Okay, so you picked a running back from Alabama that worked out. That
not hard to do.
Yeah. I don't think Gruden's the right guy, and I definitely don't think Belichick's the right guy. I'd rather take a chance on an OC, giving them a shot, than I would a retread. I mean, at this point, like, what if someone said, "What about John Fox? What if we called him?" Like, would you be okay with that, or would you say hell no? Or a Matt Nagy? We had him; he was a head coach. He has head coaching experience. Like, what's the difference other than that guy had a Super Bowl 20 years ago, and Belichick missed the playoffs for the last 5 seasons with New England? Like,
Pete
I know
Carroll's
he's chasing
74.
walls, but I don't think we have the right.
No.
Yeah, that's just. But I'll let you guys talk on those two. I feel like I'm really behind, so I'm gonna try and hop out and hop back in and see if it helps at all, because I'm skipping
a little laggy. Yeah. For me, of the old guys, KB, I would only look at Gruden just because the offensive mind. But like AC said, it's probably best right now because Gruden's going to demand a whole bunch of things that the Bears aren't going to want to deliver. To give him the power, relinquish control over. I think we got is AC frozen? Okay, there goes. Okay, I think it's best to just like kind of kick back, let Thomas Brown have his 5-game audition, and then kind of reassess from there. But if Brown isn't the guy, and I think there's a real high chance he is the guy that they just, because it makes perfect sense that the Bears, they're gonna hire another first-time head coach, get a bargain price, and that's been their way of working. That's the things that they do, the kind of things that they do.
Oh yeah.
Mike Vrabel is kind of an interesting name.
I heard floated.
Yep, depending on who he brings along, as far as like developing Caleb Williams, because I think he brings that hard ass, no nonsense. Eberflus to me seemed like the gym teacher who's everybody's buddy.
Oh yeah,
and I just hate coaches like that. I hate the Tressman, Nagy, and Eberflus. Those have been like those past 3 guys have been guys like that. They're just.
I was gonna say Eberflus reminded me of this old science teacher I had in middle school. Real good guy. Real likable.
Yeah.
But
and Caleb Williams even said the same thing you're saying right now.
You know what I'm saying? But personality is not alpha dog, and you need alpha dogs to lead a program, a team. You know what I'm saying? You're not looking for the nice guy who's gonna, hey, rah speech, because rah speech only gets you so far.
Yeah.
I've seen people float the name Vrabel out. I've seen, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you get the Ben Johnson crowds of the world, which wouldn't be bad at all. I would absolutely love to see Ben Johnson here, especially if you give us the off season where you can go get a Trey Smith. You spend big on him. I've said this before. I was like, man, you know what? I would consider bringing James Daniel back to exclusively play center.
This is great. I'm glad you brought this up because Ryan Poles chose Nate Davis over James Daniels and paid more for Nate Davis, or at least the same amount that we could have given Daniels. And Daniels is a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
Without the headaches.
And the crazy thing is, even looking at you know the age.
Yeah.
James Daniels is still 27. So it's still very young. Like I said, I would look to bring him back in. To me, Tevin Jenkins has a 5-game sample size to figure out what you're gonna do with him.
Yep.
Maybe he stays healthy. Maybe I can figure that out. Maybe you can re-sign him. I've said it before.
Do you think Tevin Jenkins is back?
I don't know. That's why I said, man,
it's a huge question mark.
Big question mark.
I think if I were Ryan Poles, I love Tevin Jenkins. I love the player. I love the heart. I love the personality. I think he's a great guy, but he's just always injured.
Always.
You know, and I just think that the Bears could probably draft a couple guards and get the same amount of production.
See, and that's one thing. I had went on this little kick. I was thinking, I was like, man, maybe what if you can fix the offensive line in the off season? You know what I'm saying? And instead of being like, hey man, we gonna draft a guy in the top round. Because I'm looking at the defensive line. Defensive line needs help too. As much as we don't want to say it, they need another edge rusher that's a pure pass rusher. But yeah, you go get these James Daniels and these Trey Sermons. I said something about the one guy that plays out there, Jedrick Wills. I was told that he sucks, but I mean, you look at Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones to me is also auditioning for the last 5 games because he has the same issues that he's had since he's been a rookie.
Yep.
Very athletic. The kid is uber talented, but he cannot anchor. He can't anchor to save his life.
Yep.
Every time you watch this kid going against anybody with some strength, he's getting pushed all the way back into the pocket.
Yeah, I agree. He's too light in the pants for me. Although there's times when he plays pretty damn good.
Yeah, but he does play well
in pass protection. Baralissimo's in the chat. He likes if you watched Georgia Texas yesterday, he likes Kelvin Banks Jr. Left tackle.
I like
so maybe that's an option for the Bears.
But it's also a first-round option.
A first-round option. Yep.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, we don't need to draft in the first round because, like I said, the trenches take precedent right now. But if there was a way that you feel like you fix the O-line without spending those high draft picks, I would love to see it because, like I said, we need help on the other side of the ball bad.
Yep.
I understand you can't get everything fixed in one off season, but I've said before, I feel like this team is a lot closer than we are further away. So if, like I said, it all depends on these last 5 games to me. If Tevin Jenkins can show anything about staying healthy, I think that's an automatic resign. Like I said, Braxton is good when he's good, man. But like I said, it bothers me that he gets pushed back so much.
And he's had his share of injuries too.
That too. So I mean, it's rough. I was like, I know we got off the topic on the coaches. Like I said, I have a wish list for coaches, and the one that I sat there and said I would love to see us get is Brian Flores, just because I love the no nonsense approach to things. I would also love to see him get a hold of this defense and what it can do. And I said that way, maybe Brian Flores comes in and he says, you know what, I need to do everything in my power to try to keep Thomas Brown here instead of trying to go somewhere else, even if it's for a head coaching job. You give him you could be an assistant head coach. You will have full autonomy of the offensive side of the ball.
And he's in a great position to demand whatever the hell he wants from whoever he wants, you know,
exactly.
Especially if the Lions go on and win a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Ben Johnson will come to the Bears like, I'm not coming here unless you give me this. And the McCaskies are probably like, hey, is there a CFL coach we can look at, you know?
Who won the CFL?
Who won the Grey Cup?
Who won the XFL champion last year?
Right.
Still signing him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what worries BKB. AC, out of the Ben Johnson, what does he do for you? You think you like him?
I think I like Ben Johnson. I know a lot of people kind of fell out of love with him with some of his antics. The Detroit Lions offensive line's not coming with him. B, he got away from the run against us. I mean, if he continues running the ball, they probably win that game handedly, but they got away from it when Gibbs fumbled that ball away. Maybe that's something he learns from, but I think he's smart. He's not going to come somewhere where he doesn't think he's going to succeed. That's what happened last year. And obviously, I think he wanted to bring a Super Bowl to Detroit. But I was
going to say, you don't think that those answers that he gave were kind of directed at the Bears?
I think it was directed at all of the NFL. I think not only the Bears fall in that category. If you look at who else, Jets need a head coach, he's not going to want to go there.
I wouldn't want to go to the Jets.
I don't. Who else is fired? Fired their head coach, or haven't fired him yet, but probably will.
The Saints,
Jaguars probably will.
Yep, a lot of people going to be looking for coaches.
Is he going to go there?
The Jets fired Saleh.
I think we're an attractive place. I do. I think with Caleb Williams in place and some pieces on the O-line, I think Darnell Wright's better than we've been giving him credit for. And Coleman Shelton has came into his own lately.
He's injured.
We don't have to worry about snaps anymore.
Oh, shit, he is hurt, huh?
I saw you put that up, but who's center then? Because is Bates good to go, or what's the plan
Bates
there?
Or Kramer, right?
Bates is hurt too, ain't he? I thought he was on injury reserve.
Let me get that. We got to get that injury report up, I guess, now, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I mean, you guys were talking O-line. The guy from Texas I like, and the guy from LSU I like.
Yep.
We'll just
Roshan
have to see
and Bates are already
if we're
out.
picking high enough to grab one of those.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Roshan and Bates are both out.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad we said that because I got to take him out of my lineup. Thank you for reminding me. But I don't know what you do. Like I said, I know in my head names that I see. Like I said, to me, you should be in play for Trey Smith. That is number one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Trey
Smith at guard, and then a guy that Barlissimo talked about, Jedrick Wills. He's from here in Kentucky. I watched him play in high school. Goes to Alabama because when Alabama calls, that's where you go. And he's been good, I think. I would love to have him on my team. Now he's had some injuries.
I said something about because I brought up the three names. Like I said, I brought up James Daniels again because hey, maybe you don't want to keep Coleman Shelton. He has played better as of as of late. But maybe you bring James Daniels and you start him at center. And I say you get Jedrick Wills, depending on what you do with Tevin Jenkins or whatever you want to do with Braxton Jones. You can kick one of them in the left guard. Braxton Jones in the left guard. Yeah. But
or if you draft a guy high, you can maybe put them at left guard and let them grow into a left tackle position for the future.
But I said something about Trey Smith being at left tackle, and apparently I was killed because Jedrick Wills has not been good at left tackle from what I was told. So I don't know.
He's been fine. He hasn't been a super. I mean, he's not Trent Williams. He's not Laramie Tunsil, but he's been fine, and we're already getting fine out of Braxton Jones. Now the price would be the question. If we keep Braxton as a swing tackle depth piece, I'm fine with that, but he's not your left tackle for the future. If you draft a guy, you're really just hoping that they grow into that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We need help on both sides of the ball. I mean, who are we going to get opposite of Montez Sweat at pass rush? You got to find a piece there. If Deion Walker's there in the second round, he's from Kentucky. He could be a great backup and possibly starter if Billings isn't ready to go at the start of the year at nose tackle. The watching him live though, a lot of people like him. He's got good size and good effort most of the time, but there's sometimes, I mean, the same things that came out about the guy from Georgia is going to come out about Walker. And when he's going, it's hard to stop him, but he takes plays off. He does. And you see it, especially if they get down a lot, you'll see him just straight up quit and just hand fight with the guy in front of him instead of working his ass off, and maybe that changes if he gets some more money. I don't know. But, we need help in the trenches. That's the bottom line.
I did a mock draft, about a week ago.
My God,
you know what I'm saying? Just playing around, man. Just going off of what I was saying during our off season, how it would go strictly linemen in the off season first, in free agency. So, man, my first two picks, bro, you would love. I got Buddy James Pierce with my first pick, but I traded back to the 18th spot. He was still there. I ended up with Pierce at edge, and my second pick was Walker. I was like, I'm okay with this. I'm definitely okay with this, man. So,
but if that's we'll have to see what they do in free agency. Of course, that'll help you set up your draft board. Coach Easy's already like, man, here we are talking draft already. And it's, we just past Thanksgiving. I mean, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for the best for Thomas Brown. If you can win some games and lock up that head coaching gig, then go for it. But if we can get up into that top 10, I ain't going to complain.
I was going to say, Caesar, I see for Tevin Jenkins, bro, probably a 2-year, $18 million deal. That would be all I would give him right now.
And first year would be the only one guaranteed. I wouldn't even guarantee that second year.
I was gonna say second year is not guaranteed, bro. You gotta go out there. You gotta play for your job, bro.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it sucks. I wanted him to succeed, but he's always hurt. You know what I mean? You can't. Just like John Fox said, sometimes availability is your best ability.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into this game a little bit now. Bears 49ers today. 49ers have a litany of injuries as well. If you talk about bad luck Bears, you got to talk about bad luck 49ers as well. McCaffrey went on IR and his backup went on IR. Trent Williams is out for personal reasons. Aaron Banks, their left guard, is out. Brandon Ayuk's out. Yeah, we might see a lot of Debo Samuel runs, I think. Watch for Juwan Jennings. He's sneaky. And then Ricky Pearsall over the middle is a guy to watch out for as well. It's a guy they drafted. And it's just their injury report. I kind of feel bad for them, honestly.
The big one is Trent Williams protecting Brock Purdy's blind side. I mean, they're missing the whole left side of their offensive line. That's a great spot for the Bears to attack. If we're talking about like here, Brock Purdy versus pressure. Like I said, the Bears blitz about middle of the pack, but they get the third most pressure. So when Brock Purdy's kept clean, he's really not that bad. He's a lot better when he's pressured.
Yeah.
So that's one. Purdy with Trent Williams. When Trent Williams healthy, he's a lot better. 28 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. So
I mean, I'd say a lot of people are better with a franchise left tackle.
That's facts.
Right. So I mean, you're looking at it when he's healthy, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's not good without his man. Now here's some other notes. Now Bears play zone defense almost more than anybody in the league. Versus zone, Brock Purdy is not as good. He's got a good. He's better versus zone. Versus man, he's not as good. And then if you're looking here, his home and road slips, Purdy on the road is a lot better. Purdy at home, not as good. So that's part of the thing. They really haven't had a good home field advantage with at home. Now if we're looking at the injuries on the 49ers defense,
nobody.
They're missing some pass rush juice. Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave are two of the
the O's mean out. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, the Javon Hargrave and Nick Bosa are two of their better pass rushers. We get the Leonard Floyd revenge game though.
He gonna get 4 sacks today for no fucking reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll be interested to see that safety up there, Hufanga. I liked him a lot when we played him last time.
Yep.
So if he can go, that's somewhere to watch because he's not only excellent in coverage, he'll hit you and it'll make you remember that you were coming across his middle. It'll be interesting to see where Coleman Shelton ends up. You got Ryan Bates on there. He's you said he's out of IR.
That's actually it should be switched because Shelton's in and Bates is out.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Tev is hurt?
Okay, that's Tev is.
I have an updated one. Hold on a second. I do have an updated one. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Here's the latest one.
Tevin doesn't really finish games though. Okay. Yeah. Ryan Bates, Elijah Hicks, and Roschon Johnson's out. DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift is questionable. I looked at this yesterday, and that's what I thought I had seen.
I was gonna say I seen something today that said Moore and Swift are playing.
Yeah, I expect them to play.
Yeah. The important thing is there at the bottom. Coleman Shelton and Darnell Wright were limited earlier, and they are full participants on Friday, so
that's huge.
They're good to go. Yeah, that's a definitely big thing. I think, and I feel like I say this every week, and maybe with Thomas Brown at the helm, they'll pay attention a little more. You got to run the ball, man. You got to run the ball and set up for play action. Keenan Allen's been coming on as of late. We were kind of on him early. I feel like Thomas Brown put him in a better position to win. They're getting the ball in DJ Moore's hands early and often, but you got to run the ball, especially on the road. Take the crowd out of it. And I feel like we haven't been able to run the ball, even with the success we've had against the Lions, the Packers, and the Vikings. We haven't ran the ball well. DeAndre Swift looks like he's gone back to needing a great offensive line for him to be successful. You got Roschon Johnson that's injured, and then behind him you got Travis Homer, because we traded away Herbert.
Travis Homer though, he's averaged 6.5 yards per carry in his Bears career though, but he had limited action. But look at the Bears last 4 game rush success rate, Aaron. So you're absolutely right. We haven't run the ball well. 31.4% rushing success. If we're talking gap concept, look at the gap runs for San Francisco defense. They're towards the bottom here. So we got a chance to run the ball, and the San Francisco defense. Look at they played in a blizzard in Buffalo last week.
Right.
In their last game, they got killed. Their defensive success rates. 54 points. They're not getting off the field on 3rd down.
Well, I know the injury report didn't show Fred Warner on there, but I did see something earlier this week where they asked Fred Warner about his ankle, and he basically said that it was broken. And when they looked at his PFF grades from week 4 up till recent, his grades was cut in half. So you go from being an all-pro middle linebacker to being – he's probably still a Pro Bowl linebacker.
I was going to say the best middle linebacker to probably just be in middle of the pack. That still don't make no damn sense, bro.
That Bills game versus the 49ers, look, that was such a badass beat. They got their asses whipped. I mean, if they don't come back with a little pride – today, they're done for the season. The Niners just take a fork.
That was 2 weeks in a row because the Packers beat their ass too. I mean, they had guys out. Yep. Purdy didn't even start that game, but the Packers whooped their ass too.
Brandon Allen
it wasn't.
Yep.
It wasn't close.
If you asked any of the three of us before the season who you thought would win the NFC West, all three of us would have picked the 49ers.
Oh,
hands
yeah,
down.
absolutely. Absolutely.
On my 12-ounce Core
You know,
Route
it's
podcast,
been-
we choose which division winner, and we all chose the 49ers
been-
for the West.
Really,
Who is all in the West right now?
with
It's
the
Cardinals.
past success.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first
Cardinals,
place team, I think, is
Seahawks,
Seattle right now.
49ers, and Rams. Seahawks are leading their division.
I was going to say,
7-5.
Everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance to win this division, even the 49ers. The 49ers are looking up at everybody else. The Cardinals have played really well at home. They get the Seahawks, who have played excellent in Arizona. That's going to be a hell of a game today. The defense of the Cardinals has stepped up. Seattle has been doing it with smoke and mirrors. They've been injured a lot. Again, they'll lose Kenneth Walker, their star running back, today versus the Cardinals. They've been
Zach
playing excellent.
Charbonnet's a hell of a backup, though.
Charbonnet can step in and do as well. But Seattle has been really playing well with a roster that you wouldn't consider is top of the league in talent. They're doing it with Geno Smith, who's played really well. And then the star power is kind of lacking. I mean, you look at Kenneth Walker and DK Metcalf, and they have a couple good cornerbacks up there. But for the most part, they've played tough with the pieces they've had. And you can't count the Rams out with Sean McVay, who I think is one of the best coaches in the NFL. And then
I agree.
Matthew Stafford, you got a chance to win with his big arm, and they've got some great talent at the wide receiver position, a great running back. They've just had troubles with injuries this season. It's a wild division. The Bears, unfortunately, in our division, we played the other teams tough, but we're looking up at everyone else, just like the 49ers. I don't know. Any predictions from you guys on today's game? I love the Bears plus the points today. I'd take them in a teaser. I think it'll be a close game, and I'll take 4 points in my back pocket.
I've already bet them plus the points.
Yeah.
Matthew Fulchisi just gave us a super chat.
Yeah.
$5.
My boy,
Why
Fochi.
Jeez.
Why is it now Detroit is finally winning? Their fans act like they know it all. Douchebags.
Yeah.
That's just they say it in their college team. To the victor go the spoils. When you're winning ball games, it gives you the right to talk about how your team's winning ball games. And we are experts in losing at this point. We see it every week why we're losing. So they can see every week why they're winning. Now, you could say possibly act like you've been there, but it's not like they can. Yeah, exactly. They can't exactly do that. So unless they were alive in 1954, I think is when they won their world championship, or was it 56? It was in the 50s. If they were alive back then they can say they act like they've been there before, but they haven't been. I will say, Fochisi, you said this in our group chat. They're going to lose both their coordinators this offseason, and I think Dan Campbell can get it done. I think he has things in place to step up and get into that. Yeah, step up into those positions. But that's got to be something that you're worried about if you are a Lions fan. You finally have success. Yep. And then, the team we're playing to get today, they do it yearly. The defensive coordinator for the 49ers goes to be a head coach yearly, it seems like. The offensive coordinator or the quarterback's coach, somebody. Bobby Slowick came from this tree with D'Amico Ryans, and it's always something in San Francisco. When you're a good team.
Robert Saleh there too?
Saleh was his DC. Yep.
A lot of guys come through the San Francisco coaching tree. Boy, let me see. What do you guys think about this? We always seem to not have one or the other at the same time. It kind of been a curse, Same with like offense and defense. We never seem to have a good offense with a good defense. It's always, if we have a great offense, we have a crap defense, like Mel Tucker era,
Oh, what a time to be a fan. Oh,
yeah. I remember 2005, the Bears played the 49ers. It was like the windiest game in NFL history. It's like trying to kick
saw
a
a
field. You
video of
remember
that
that one?
this week. The flags were just like this the whole
The
time.
Robbie Gold field goal went like sideways.
I mean, as soon as it hits the wind, you see it.
Yeah.
There's
no way. No way.
But the last time we played this 49ers, I don't know if you touched on it too. This was the
Nope.
monsoon game.
Yes.
Justin Fields led them to victory in Chicago, and then they went and slid into the end zone. I have a picture of that.
It was opening day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We started the year off with a victory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was I don't know what year was that. Hold on a second. I think
2021.
Was it?
Or was it 22?
It was 2022, September 11, opening day, 1910 Chicago win. That was Eberflus' first year, right?
Was it?
Right, I think so. Yeah, 22.
Right. I don't know.
Eberflus'
But
first year. His first game was
this year. Earlier this week, they were calling for a tsunami out there in San Francisco. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" But I think they called that off, and it's all good to go. It's after 11 now, so we'll have to. Yeah, I was wondering what happened. Your thing just cut off. But we got to try and close this thing out, fellas.
You had a fantasy football goon coming up. I will not be on today. I've got Steven Zimmerman sitting in for me. I got Christmas lights to hang. I'm way behind. So I'm like,
not lights.
My wife was going to go into work yesterday, and I was like, if you're going into work today, I need someone to hold the ladder while I'm up there, putting the lights up and stuff. I don't want to fall on my ass, off the ladder. But and then they go, but I have a couple podcasts. So no, we got work to do. So her and the girls are putting the tree up and stuff. I mean, we're behind. I mean, it's December 8th already.
Well, the weather hasn't cooperated. Usually you wait for a good weekend to throw the lights up outside.
I would have done it last weekend. It was because we didn't have a Bears game Saturday, Sunday. They played on Thursday. But it was freezing, man. It was like 16 degrees out. It's like
right. Definitely.
Yeah. Today's supposed to be 55.
So, Tooch, I'll throw to you first. If you'll give me a score prediction, a bowl prediction, the MVB, and hit your shout outs, and then I'll go to KB and I'll finish this out.
So it's an applied score of 24-20 Niners. I'm gonna say. I think this game to me feels like an under. You have the 49ers are struggling on offense. The Bears have been better on offense. Well, I think the Bears have a good chance to win this game outright. I'll take the Bears plus 4, 3.5, whatever it is in this game. I'm going to say Bears 21, 49ers 20. And I'll take my most valuable player. It's a tough one. Man, Montez Sweat is so overdue for just a huge game. I'm going to take Montez. Maybe gets a couple sacks today, just maybe a strip sack or something. I think if the Bears are going to win this game, we have a good chance of getting a turnover. Purdy's real careful with the ball, but his offensive line is so banged up, man.
Yeah, put him on that left side over whoever their backup is. Maybe they'll have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the Bears will get the dead cat bounce they need with Eberflus gone. They'll be fired up to play for Thomas Brown. Faux cheese, 24-20. I'm going to go 21-20. I could see something like 2019 as well. I think it'll be under 44.5. It seems both these teams like to run the ball. We have to watch out for this kid they got running the ball from Louisville. I forget his name. Guerendo. He's got some speed and he's got some size. He's run the ball pretty well. The Bears got to stop the run. The thing is that the Niners have not been able to throw the ball deep without Brandon Ayuk. No surprise there. The one guy you got to stop, though, who always makes plays, is George Kittle. That dude, man, He is so
Not bad.
good, man. He just got a knack for getting open. I wish he was on the Bears. Bearlissimo and I, we wanted the Bears to draft him in the 4th round.
Couldn't believe he was there in the 5th round.
We ended up taking Adam Shaheen.
God, fucking idiot.
Bearlissimo and I were pounding the table for George Kittle. Anyways, what could have been? Yeah. All right. I'm good. A shout out to you two guys, my co-hosts, and Aldo always for Aldo is the network. And then you got Fantasy Football Goon coming up next with Joe and the boys. Tune into that and get your fantasy questions answered.
I wish they went for that show on Wednesday nights or Thursday, because last week my defense in another league was on a bye. So I picked up the Cowboys defense on waivers, and I forgot to put them in my lineup.
Oh, no.
So Thursday starts, and they put up 17 fantasy points too. So I had to scramble. I picked up Chiefs defense against the Raiders and was able to get them in there, but I was so mad on Thursday. I was like, oh, my God. I'm sitting here with this 17 points on my bench. And, so I wish they did the Fantasy Goon show on Wednesday night.
I'm playing KB today, I think, in Barroom. It's me.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I got my players on a bye. Kenneth Walker injured. So,
big bye weeks this week. You got Ravens, I think, on bye, and trying to remember who else. There's some big teams, so definitely tune in.
Yeah, it's some good teams that's on buys. I know I had to sit a couple people, and I'm like,
yeah, you got some guys on bye too, both of us.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one. Let's go, man. I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna say 27-21. I give the Bears the dub today.
Yeah.
I really think the 49ers are too beat up. And I think we do get that bounce with Thomas Brown getting his first coaching game in. And plus I'm pulling for the guy. I just want to see him succeed, listen to him talk. You kind of feel leader emanate from him. So yeah, I'm gonna give us a dub today. I say Caleb goes for 3 today. And I'm gonna say this, my bold prediction: Austin Booker gets 2 sacks today.
Austin Book coming out
with Trent being hurt. You know what I'm saying? Them switching up, and I feel like Washington's a tad bit more on the aggressive side. I feel like he'll send more blitzes, and I feel like that'll help when Booker is on the field. So yeah, I give Austin Booker 2 sacks a day. Give him 2.
Nice.
Shout out to y'all boys, man. Y'all was doing it. Y'all always doing it. It's amazing. Y'all boys are amazing. Shout out to the Gandia, the pie father, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? He still does his thing. We love you, Aldo, always. This shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Cheesy, man, you throwing $5 up, bro. Hey, look, like I said, we never ask for money, bro. We appreciate you doing what you're doing. As far as Don Burgo, sir, I just want to let you know, y'all not gonna have both of them the DCs and the OCs, them up. No, son, they're out of there. You might as well get that up. That's a wrap. If we do get Ben Johnson, we get him. I'm not sure. That being said, man, like I said, shout out to y'all boys, man. Love, peace, hair, grief.
That's a pretty bold prediction. Back-to-back hat tricks for Caleb Williams would be, and I don't know if you guys touched on it while I was out or not. Caleb Williams is now our leading all-time rookie passing yards and all-time rookie touchdowns as of last week. He passed. And gosh, I looked it up. What was that guy's name? It was from 1942. That was the rookie that held that record. You know how they used to do their nicknames back then, Old Curly Joe or Oil Pan Willie or something like that. I don't remember his name.
Oil Pan. Not Oil Pan.
We passed that guy up, so he's setting records, the Bear records. It is what it is as far as quarterbacks go. But it was awesome to see. I'm wearing my Caleb Williams today because I think he will have a big game as well.
It's 18 in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's in your heart, brother. It's in your heart. Yeah. But my score prediction, I got Bears winning. I think I've already bet this game. I bet this game early because I was worried the line would move. And it actually moved, I believe, in our direction, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Bears win this game. I don't think it's crazy high scoring though. Give me like 24 to something weird, 24-18 or something like that. Yeah, and I think that feels right. My
Feels right.
MVB, yeah, it feels right. My MVB, I want to say Caleb because, like I said, I think he's going to have a great game. Give me DJ Moore to do a couple things against this 49ers defense. In the secondary, I think they're going to try and hone in on Keenan Allen, and I want to see more out of Rome, but we just haven't seen it yet. But I think DJ Moore, they get the ball in his hands early and often, especially if they struggle to run the ball again today. Hell, he's maybe the second best runner on the team at a running back position. You know, the way he runs the ball even between tackles. And bold prediction. Barlissimo said it earlier. I think Thomas Brown does something today in his first game as Bears head coach that Matt Eberflus never did. Win a road game on a Sunday, in his first one. We didn't. Technically, Eberflus won that game in London on a Sunday, but they counted that as a home game. So, but Eberflus never won a road game. He was 0-18 on Sunday. Yeah, Barlissimo threw that up, and I was like, "Damn, he stole mine." But yeah, I think Brown gets it done today. What can Brown do for you? Brown can get you motivated, and I love hearing him talk. He already sounds like the adult in the room. Hearing him at the podium.
Yeah.
If he's not head coach here, he's going to be a head coach somewhere next year. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But yeah, shout outs to y'all. Thanks for coming in and thanks for holding down the fort while I was having internet issues early. I kept like answering questions and then I'd hear a big pause and I'm like, man, there's got to be a lag somewhere. So I dropped out, came back in, and it seemed like everything was good.
A lot better.
Shout out to C-Dub. He was having computer issues this morning.
Yeah.
I know he had thoughts on Eberflus and everything like that. So we'll let him get his thoughts out next week, I guess. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Matthew Fochese throwing 5 in. That was awesome. Like KB said, we never ask for money, but we always appreciate it. King Buku was in there. Barlissimo was in there dropping facts. Barlissimo, man, this offseason I want to do a draft show, and I need a draft analyst. Please hit us up. I would love to have you on. Because I feel awesome, like man. I like to pretend like I know what the hell I'm talking about, but I really don't. I just pretend. But yeah. Ravi again cut the lights on for me this morning. I swear, I don't know what time he's in the chat when I start. I don't know what time he gets in here, but I'll hop in and I already see him in the chat talking about unlocking the door and turning the lights on for sure. But yeah, until next week, man, we'll just leave everybody with a bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.